She said, "I can't have children." The cowboy smiled. "Good, I've got enough kids for both." The twin suns of Nova Mesa hung low in the sky, casting long shadows across the dusty red plains. A dry wind blew over the scattered settlements, stirring loose dirt and the faint metallic smell of the nearby mining rigs. Life on Nova Mesa was never easy. Most people who lived here had left homes in the core worlds, searching for freedom or opportunity, and found only a rough life filled with hard work, endless dust, and occasional danger. Sheridan Colt, a man in his early 40s, rode slowly into town. His wide-brimmed hat shaded his weathered face, and a long brown coat flapped in the wind. The sun reflected off the metal plate strapped to his shoulder, a relic of a past skirmish now worn smooth from years of travel. His horse, a mechanical steed with glowing blue eyes and silent legs, stepped lightly over the cracked dirt roads. People stopped and watched him pass, some whispering, some nodding in respect. Sheridan had a reputation in these parts, not for fighting, not for bounty hunting, not even for wealth, but for taking care of children who had nowhere else to go. At the edge of the town, a small crowd had gathered near the saloon, but Sheridan didn't stop there. He headed straight for the workshop at the center of the settlement, where a new face had arrived. She was tall and slight, with copper-colored hair pulled into a braid that swayed over her shoulder as she worked. Her hands were greasy with mineral dust, but her movements were precise and deliberate. Lyra Dane, the engineer, was different from anyone Sheridan had seen in a long time. Lyra had come to Nova Mesa for one reason, a rare mineral called luminite, which could power a new type of reactor she was developing. The problem was that she had no experience dealing with frontier life, no knowledge of the dangerous political webs woven in these small settlements, and there was something personal she kept hidden, a truth she had carried with her across the stars. She could not have children. It was a fact that had haunted her for years, making her shy away from relationships and communities. Nova Mesa was supposed to be about work, not family. Sheridan leaned against the doorway of the workshop, tipping his hat. "You must be Lyra Dane," he said, voice calm but carrying an easy authority. The children nearby, 3 boys and 2 girls, all between 7 and 12, paused their play to watch. They were drawn to Sheridan naturally, as if he carried the smell of safety with him. Lyra looked up from her workbench, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. "And you must be the infamous Sheridan Colt?" she said, a faint smile crossing her lips. "I've heard a lot about you." "Good things, I hope," Sheridan replied, tipping his head with a grin, "or at least things that make me look respectable." "Mostly good, at least from what I've been told, though I'm not sure why you care so much about children you've never had." Sheridan's smile softened. "'Cause every child deserves a chance. Some folks don't have anyone to watch over them. That's where I come in." He paused and gestured toward the children playing near the workshop. "I've got enough hands to help raise the future." Lyra's smile faded slightly, replaced with a mix of curiosity and something more somber. She had expected to find cold, pragmatic settlers, perhaps even greedy miners. Instead, she found a man whose kindness seemed effortless, a rarity in a place like Nova Mesa. Before she could respond, one of the children ran up, holding something clutched tightly in his hands. "Sheridan, you've got to see this!" he shouted. It was Rory, the youngest, always full of questions and energy. Sheridan crouched to meet Rory's eyes. "What is it, little one?" Rory opened his hands to reveal a small robot, no taller than a foot, with sparks flickering from its joints. Its sensors blinked erratically, and a low whirring sound filled the air. Lyra stepped closer, her eyes widening. "Where did you find that?" she asked. "In the canyon near the old mines," Rory said breathlessly. "It was broken. I tried fixing it, but I don't think I did it right." Sheridan straightened, examining the robot carefully. Its body was scratched and dented, and a faint blue glow pulsed from its chest. "This isn't just any junk robot," he said quietly. "This thing, it's got old tech in it, tech we haven't seen in decades, and if I'm not mistaken," his eyes narrowed, thoughtful, "it could lead us somewhere important." "Where?" Sheridan shook his head. "Not sure yet. But I know one thing. This robot isn't dangerous on its own. The real danger is who might want it. There are people out there who would pay a fortune for tech like this. People who don't care who gets hurt." Lyra's fingers brushed the robot's metallic frame. "I can help fix it," she said. "If it's broken, I can bring it back online. Maybe then it can tell us something." Sheridan nodded approvingly. "That's what I like about you. You don't wait for problems to hit you. You step in and try to fix them." The children gathered around, eyes wide with excitement. They had never seen Lyra work. Never had someone outside their little settlement show so much focus and skill. They watched as she adjusted wires, tightened panels, and whispered instructions as if the robot could hear her. Sparks flew, tools clanked, and slowly the machine began to respond. Its chest glowed steadily now, and a soft voice emitted from its speaker. "Coordinates, stored, destination unknown," the robot said. Lyra and Sheridan exchanged a glance. "Destination unknown?" Lyra repeated, tilting her head. "It's like it's pointing us to something hidden." Sheridan's eyes sparkled. "Exactly. And hidden things always mean adventure. Adventure in a place like Nova Mesa? Are you sure that's wise?" "On this planet, adventure is the only wise choice." The two of them stood in silence for a moment, watching the robot blink and whir. The children, sensing excitement, began whispering among themselves, imagining hidden treasures, forgotten spaceships, and heroic deeds. Finally, Lyra spoke, her voice quieter now. "I've traveled a lot," she said. "I've seen places I never thought existed. But this feels different." "Dangerous, yes, but somehow, right?" Sheridan nodded, placing a hand gently on her shoulder. "That's because some things choose us, not the other way around. And I have a feeling this little machine has chosen us both." Rory jumped up, nearly knocking over a tool bucket in his excitement.
"Can we go see where it leads?"
"Can we? Please?" Sheridan laughed, ruffling the boy's hair. "Soon, little one. First we need to make sure we're ready. Nova Mesa has a way of teaching you lessons you didn't ask for." Lyra bent to examine the robot again. "I think I can get more readings from it tonight. We'll know more by sunrise." "Good," Sheridan said. "Then we'll decide our next move together. And Lyra, don't worry about children or families right now. There's plenty of time for those kinds of things. For now, let's just focus on keeping everyone safe and figuring out what this little guy is really up to." As the sun dipped lower, painting the mesas in shades of orange and violet, the settlement began to glow with warm lantern light. Families gathered for dinner, children played, and the wind carried faint mechanical hums across the dusty streets. Lyra watched Sheridan as he spoke to the children, telling stories, helping fix a broken wheel on one of the older robots, and laughing at the smallest of jokes. Despite everything she had carried with her across the stars, loneliness, disappointment, secrets, she felt a flicker of hope. Maybe here, on this rough frontier world, she could find something she never expected. A place to belong, a purpose beyond work, and perhaps even a new kind of family. Sheridan caught her glance and smiled knowingly. He didn't say anything. He didn't need to. Words were unnecessary. Out here, actions mattered more than talk, and he had just taken note of the newest partner in his frontier adventures, someone who might help shape the future of Nova Mesa in ways neither of them could yet imagine. As the stars began to twinkle above the twin suns and the small robot's blue glow pulsed steadily in the workshop, a sense of quiet anticipation filled the air. Something was coming, a discovery, an adventure, or perhaps a challenge that would test the courage of everyone in the settlement. But Sheridan Colt, Lyra Dane, and the children of Nova Mesa were ready, and the night held a promise that sometimes the most unexpected companions, human, child, or machine, could change the course of the future. The next morning, the twin suns of Nova Mesa rose slowly, painting the sky in bright gold and dusty orange. Lyra Dane sat cross-legged on the floor of the workshop, her tools scattered around her, eyes glued to the small robot. The children sat nearby, whispering excitedly. Sheridan Colt stood at the doorway, arms crossed, a quiet smile on his face. "This little one has a mind of its own," Lyra said, pointing at the robot's glowing chest. "It's giving off signals, coordinates. But I've never seen tech like this before. Not on Nova Mesa, not anywhere in the Outer Rim." Sheridan walked over, leaning against the workbench. "Well, then we're going somewhere new. I don't usually make plans, but when something like this appears, you follow it. Coordinates stored, destination unknown. Caution advised." Its mechanical voice was soft but firm, as if it knew the importance of the journey. Rory, bouncing on the balls of his feet, shouted, "Can we go now? Can we see where it leads?" Sheridan crouched and ruffled the boy's hair. "Not yet, little one. We need to be ready. We don't know what's out there, and Nova Mesa has a way of throwing surprises at anyone who rushes. I'll need to map the coordinates and run a few scans. If this is alien tech, we need to be careful. I don't want anyone hurt, and I don't want this robot damaged. That's why you're here, Lyra. Your brains and my charm. We make a good team." By late afternoon, Lyra had finished calibrating the robot. Its glowing core pulsed steadily, and a thin holographic map projected from its chest. The coordinates led to a canyon on the far side of the settlement, a place abandoned after a mining accident years ago. Dust and rock had taken over the entrances, and most settlers avoided it. "This place looks dangerous," Lyra said quietly. "Not because of people, but because of what might be inside. It's been untouched for years." Sheridan nodded. "Good. That means we're the first to see it in a long time. First seas get the stories, the discoveries, second seas get the cleanup. We want the first, trust me." The children gathered around, eyes wide. "Can we come too?" asked a small girl named Mina, clutching a patched-up mechanical bird she had built herself. Sheridan smiled. "Of course, but we all stick together." No wandering off. By late afternoon, the group set out. Sheridan rode his mechanical horse. Lyra carried her toolkit, and the children followed on smaller hoverboards and bikes, laughing and shouting as the wind whipped their hair. The robot floated ahead, glowing blue, guiding the way. The canyon appeared suddenly, a deep scar in the red landscape. The walls rose high, casting shadows that made the air feel cooler. In the middle of the canyon, partially buried in dust and rock, lay a spaceship, the Wraith Horizon. It was massive, sleek, and covered with strange markings that glowed faintly. Its hull was scratched and scarred from years of exposure to the elements. Lyra's mouth fell open. "It's incredible. I've never seen a ship like this. Its design, it's not human." Sheridan dismounted, his boots crunching on the dust. "I told you, Lyra. Adventure. This is why we follow strange robots." He reached out and ran his hand along the ship's hull, feeling its cold, smooth metal. Looks like it's been waiting for someone to find it. The children stared in awe, whispering to each other. Rory pointed to a small hatch on the side. "Do you think it still works?" "Some systems are offline, but the robot says the ship still has power in certain areas. We'll be able to get inside, at least for a look." Sheridan nodded. "Then let's do it carefully, one step at a time." The hatch hissed as Lyra activated the entry panel. A soft blue glow illuminated the interior, revealing corridors lined with smooth metal walls and panels filled with blinking lights. The air smelled faintly of ozone and dust, a reminder that this ship had been abandoned for years. Inside the ship was a maze of corridors and rooms. Lyra's eyes sparkled with curiosity as she examined consoles and panels, trying to understand the alien technology. The robot floated ahead, guiding them deeper. "This ship, it's not just a vessel," Lyra whispered. "It's a laboratory, a library, maybe even a home. Look at all this technology. It could change everything for Nova Mesa. We better figure out how it works without breaking anything, and we make sure the kids stay safe while we explore." The children laughed nervously, pointing at strange shapes and lights. Mina reached out to touch a glowing console, but Sheridan gently guided her hand away. "Not yet, kiddo. Let's see what it can tell us first." As they moved deeper into the ship, a large central chamber opened before them. The walls were covered in holographic displays, showing maps of star systems, unknown planets, and energy signatures moving through space. At the center of the room floated a small, cube-shaped device glowing faintly. Lyra gasped. "That's the core, the heart of the ship. It's alive, almost. I've never seen anything like it." The robot hovered near the core, beeping softly. Energy readings... stable. Alert. Unknown origin detected. Sheridan frowned. Unknown origin? Sounds like a mystery. Just what I like. Lyra carefully approached the core, her fingers tracing the glowing edges. "If I can tap into this, maybe I can understand what this ship was built for. Maybe I can even help power it back on." Sheridan glanced at the children. "Keep close, everyone. And remember, curiosity is good, but caution is better." Hours passed as Lyra worked, her tools clinking and sparking softly. The children explored under Sheridan's watchful eye, learning about switches, buttons, and displays that seemed magical. Even Rory, usually restless, was absorbed, asking questions and watching every move. Finally, Lyra stepped back. "I think I've got it," she said, sweat on her forehead but a satisfied smile on her face. "The ship's systems can be activated partially. We can see outside, communicate with other stations, maybe even travel if we know the coordinates." Suddenly, the core's glow intensified. The holographic maps shifted, showing a blinking signal from an uncharted system far beyond Nova Mesa. "Lyra, look at that," Sheridan said, pointing. "That's our next step." Someone or something is calling us. Lyra's eyes widened. A distress signal? It could be a trap, or it could be someone who needs help. Sheridan chuckled softly. Out here, it's always a bit of both, but that's the adventure. And I have a feeling we're about to meet someone who's been waiting for us. The children huddled closer, eyes wide with excitement. Rory whispered, "Do you think it's another robot like this one?" Sheridan smiled. "Maybe not, but whatever it is, it'll be worth the journey." Lyra turned to Sheridan, her expression thoughtful. "You know, I never imagined I'd be part of something like this. I came here for minerals, for research, but now it feels bigger, more important. And the kids, they make it feel like home somehow." Sheridan nodded, his gaze softening. "Lyra, sometimes home isn't about a place. It's about the people, or even the machines, you choose to travel with. And I think you just found your place." As the twin suns dipped below the canyon walls, casting long shadows across the ship, the wraith horizon hummed softly, as if awakening after decades of sleep. The robot hovered near the core, pulsing a steady blue light. The children, Lyra and Sheridan watched, a quiet excitement settling over them. The adventure had begun. Nova Mesa had already changed their lives, and the ship before them promised new mysteries, discoveries, and challenges that would test their courage, wit, and teamwork. And as the night sky of Nova Mesa twinkled with stars, Sheridan Colt knew one thing for certain. The Wraith Horizon was not just a ship. It was the key to an adventure that none of them would ever forget. The Wraith Horizon hummed steadily as Sheridan Colt guided the ship through the quiet vacuum of space. Lyra Dane sat at the control console, her fingers dancing across the holographic display. The children were strapped into small observation pods, staring out the wide viewports at the stars streaking past. Rory bounced in his seat, barely containing his excitement. "This is amazing," he whispered. "I never thought space could look like this." "It's even better when you're not just looking at it. We're traveling through a part of space most people don't even know exists." Lyra nodded, eyes glued to the readings. "The signal we picked up is coming from an uncharted system. No name, no record. And the energy signature, it's unlike anything I've seen. Whoever or whatever is sending it, they're advanced." Sheridan rubbed his chin. "Advanced and in trouble. Or maybe just waiting for someone who can help. That's where we come in." The ship moved silently, gliding through asteroid fields and past swirling gas clouds. The children were fascinated by everything. The blinking lights, the low hum of the engines, and the gentle sway of the ship in zero gravity. Mina pressed her hands against the glass, tracing a trail of stars with her fingers. "Do you think we'll find aliens?" she asked quietly. Sheridan smiled, his eyes twinkling. "Maybe. Or maybe we'll find something even better. A new friend, someone who needs help, or a discovery that changes everything we know." After several hours, the Wraith Horizon approached the coordinates projected by the robot. Floating in a quiet orbit around a green and blue planet was a small colony. The structures were simple but efficient, glowing softly under the light of a nearby sun. Around them floated small machines and robotic companions, all tending to the colony with precise care. Lyra's jaw dropped. "This is incredible. They've built an entire community here, and look at all those robots. They're not just helpers, they're caretakers." Sheridan nodded slowly. "Looks like someone had a plan for raising children in space, but if they needed help, that's where we come in." A message pinged through the Wraith Horizon's system. The robot floated closer to the console and projected a holographic figure. It was small, humanoid in shape, with soft, glowing lines tracing across its body. "Welcome," the figure said in a gentle voice. "We have been expecting assistance. Our caretakers are failing, and the colony requires guidance. Are you prepared to help?"
Lyra leaned forward.
"Caregivers failing? We can help, but how? We don't even know your system." The holographic figure gestured to the colony. "There are many children here. Their caretakers, both robotic and human, have been unable to maintain harmony. Energy sources are unstable. Some children are fearful and refuse to participate in daily tasks. We need leadership, patience, and teaching." Sheridan glanced at the children on the Wraith Horizon. "Sounds like home, doesn't it? But bigger." He looked at Lyra. "We can do this, together." Lyra hesitated for a moment. Her heart raced at the thought of managing so many children in an unfamiliar environment. But as she looked at the kids with her on the ship, so full of courage and curiosity, She realized she was not alone. "Okay," she said finally. "Let's do it." The Wraith Horizon descended gently into the colony. Sheridan and Lyra guided the children as they stepped onto the planet's surface. The colony's residents, a mix of children and robots, watched cautiously. Some of the children peeked from behind walls. Others held the hands of robots that were clearly their guardians. Sheridan knelt to meet a group of children. "Hello there," he said softly. "My name's Sheridan. This is Lyra. We're here to help. We don't want to take over. We just want to make life easier for everyone." A young boy with bright green eyes stepped forward. "Will you stay?" he asked quietly. "We don't get many visitors. We'll stay as long as we're needed. You don't have to be alone. And we'll make sure things are safe and fun, too." Lyra looked around and noticed a small workshop where a few children were attempting to repair a hovering cart. She knelt beside them. "Let me see what you're doing," she said gently. "I can show you a trick or two." Hours passed as Sheridan and Lyra worked with the children. They helped stabilize energy sources, organized the robots, and encouraged the children to participate in daily routines. Rory darted between tasks, eager to help, while Mina assisted Lyra in calibrating small machines. Slowly, the colony began to hum with quiet order and cooperation. Sheridan wandered toward a small garden where some of the older children were struggling to grow alien plants. He knelt beside them. "Gardens need patience," he said. "You can't rush them. You water them, care for them, and watch carefully. The same goes for people. And for robots sometimes. You just need to pay attention." A girl named Celine looked up. "So you think we can fix things?" "I know you can. Sometimes it just takes someone to show you how. And then you'll do it on your own." Lyra moved to the energy core of the colony's systems. "Some of these circuits are tricky," she said, "but if I recalibrate the main hub, we can stabilize power for all the workshops and schools. That will give the robots more time to help the children, and everyone can focus on learning and exploring safely." As Lyra worked, she noticed something remarkable. The children here, many of whom had been abandoned or separated from families, were bright, curious, and full of talent. They weren't just survivors. They were creators, engineers, thinkers. And for the first time in a long time, Lyra felt that she could help shape a family in a new way, not through biology, but through guidance, trust, and care. Sheridan returned to the children who had been repairing the hover carts. "How's it going?" he asked. "We're learning," Rory said, grinning. "I never thought I could fix a real machine." "Then you're doing better than fine," Sheridan said. "Machines, robots, even people, they all need someone to believe in them. And once you do that, they can do amazing things." As the twin suns of this distant planet began to set, casting long shadows over the colony, Sheridan and Lyra gathered the children. "Today was a start," Sheridan said. "Tomorrow we'll see how much more we can do. But remember this, none of you are alone. We all help each other here." The holographic figure of the colony's caretaker appeared again. "Your efforts have improved harmony within the colony. The children are more confident, the robots respond better, and energy systems are stabilized. You are welcome here." Lyra smiled softly. "We're happy to help, and I think we can do even more." Sheridan put his arm around her shoulder. "You know, Lyra, sometimes you don't need to create a family the usual way. You just need to show up. You just need to care, and that's enough." Lyra looked at him, and for a moment the worry she had carried across the stars, the loneliness, the fear of not being able to have children, felt lighter. Here, on this strange new world, surrounded by curious minds, glowing robots, and a man who understood the value of care over biology, she had found a purpose. The children laughed, robots whirred, and the colony seemed alive with hope. Sheridan knew that the real adventure wasn't just in discovering new places. It was in helping people, guiding them, and teaching them to believe in themselves. Rory tugged at Sheridan's coat. "Do you think there are more places like this? More children who need help?" Sheridan looked up at the sky, where stars sparkled against the darkening void. "I know there are. And wherever they are, we'll find them. Together." Lyra's hand brushed the core console one last time. "I think we're ready for whatever comes next. This colony is just the beginning." As night fell on the planet, the Wraith Horizon rested gently in orbit, its lights reflecting across the colony's buildings. Sheridan, Lyra, and the children looked out over the world they were helping to shape, a place of curiosity, learning, and care. And somewhere deep in the holographic maps, new signals began to appear, hinting at discoveries waiting beyond the next stars. Sheridan cold grinned. Adventure was calling again, and this time It was bigger than anyone had imagined. But for now, in this moment, the colony was safe, the children were happy, and Lyra had found a new kind of family, one built on trust, guidance, and hope. The adventure was far from over. In fact, it was only just beginning. The suns of the distant system rose slowly over the colony, casting golden light across the green and blue planet. Sheridan Colt stood on a gentle hill, watching the children scatter to their tasks and play with the robots. The Wraith horizon rested silently in orbit above, its metal surface reflecting the morning light. Lyra Dane joined him, holding a cup of steaming liquid that smelled faintly of roasted grains. "It's peaceful here," she said softly. "Hard to believe that just a few days ago this colony was struggling." Sheridan smiled, tipping his hat back. "It's amazing what a little guidance, patience, and trust can do. And a few clever hands don't hurt either." He nodded toward the children below, who were tinkering with small machines, watering plants, and laughing as robots hovered beside them. Lyra watched them, a warmth spreading through her chest. "I never thought I could feel this," she said quietly. "Like I'm part of something bigger than myself." Being part of a family doesn't always mean giving birth. Sometimes it means showing up, caring, and protecting. The robot hovered nearby, its blue core pulsing steadily. It had become a companion to the children, to Lyra, and even to Sheridan. Core systems stabilized. "Colony functioning at optimal efficiency," it said in its soft mechanical voice. "Children engaged. Environment safe, happiness levels increasing." Rory ran up to Sheridan holding a small device he had built with Lyra's help. "Look, I made this hover cart work all by myself." His eyes sparkled with pride. Sheridan crouched down and examined it. "That's excellent work, Rory. You fixed it perfectly. You see, all those little mistakes you made earlier, they led to learning. And learning is better than just knowing." Lyra knelt beside the boy, adjusting a panel on the cart. "I'm proud of you, Rory. You didn't give up. That's what makes you strong." A soft whistle echoed across the colony. Sheridan turned and saw the older children signaling that the energy fields for the gardens and workshops were fully stabilized. The robots moved efficiently, now responding instantly to commands. Everything seemed in harmony. Lyra watched as a group of younger children gathered near a small pond, tossing floating devices that generated soft, glowing lights. "It's beautiful," she said. "Everything seems alive and happy." Sheridan nodded. "And it's just the beginning. We can help them grow, learn, explore, make this colony stronger than ever." He glanced at Lyra, his expression gentle. "And you're part of this too. This is your home now, in a way. Not because of chance, but because you chose it." Lyra looked at him, unsure for a moment, then smiled. "I did choose it, and I wouldn't trade it for anything." As the day passed, Sheridan led the children and robots in constructing new play areas, observation decks, and workshops. Lyra taught them to repair machines, calibrate energy systems, and even experiment with small robotic companions. Each child discovered talents they had never known existed. Some were engineers, some artists, some inventors, and all of them began to feel that they belonged. Rory tugged on Sheridan's coat. "Do you think there are other kids out there who need help?" Sheridan knelt, meeting the boy's eyes. "I know there are. The galaxy is full of children who need guidance, care, and someone to believe in them. And someday we'll find them. But for now, we focus here. We make this place strong, happy, and safe." Lyra joined them, holding a small notebook filled with sketches of new machines and energy designs. "And maybe someday," she said, "we can teach others how to build places like this. Places where kids feel safe and inspired." Sheridan's gaze shifted to the Wraith horizon above. "The ship brought us here. It led us to something bigger than any treasure or mineral. Sometimes the journey is more important than the destination." At that moment, a soft hum filled the air. The Wraith horizon's core projected a holographic map, showing new signals across nearby star systems. The children crowded around, eyes wide with wonder. "Are those more children?" Rory asked, pointing. "Possibly," Lyra said, studying the map. "Or perhaps new discoveries, new places to explore, new adventures. Whatever it is, it's an opportunity to help, to learn, and to grow." "Exactly. And wherever we go, this place, this colony, will always be home. It doesn't matter how far we travel." That evening, as the twin suns dipped behind the distant mountains, the children gathered around a campfire-like light in the central courtyard. Robots hovered nearby, projecting soft warmth and gentle illumination. Sheridan and Lyra sat together, watching the scene unfold. "You know," Sheridan said quietly, "I never expected to find someone like you out here. Someone who can work, teach, and care all at once. You've done more than you know." Lyra smiled, her eyes reflecting the glowing lights. "And I never thought I'd feel this. Part of a family without actually being a parent. But somehow it feels just as real." Sheridan tipped his hat, his smile warm. "Sometimes family is about love, guidance, and presence, not biology. You've found your place here, Lyra, and I couldn't be happier for you." The children laughed as they raced small hover carts around the courtyard, robots gliding alongside them. Rory zoomed past Sheridan, waving. "Come on, try it. Maybe tomorrow. Tonight I watch and enjoy." Lyra leaned against him, content. "Do you think we'll ever leave?" "Maybe, but if we do, this place will always be here. And wherever we go, we'll take what we've learned, who we've helped, and the memories with us. That's what matters." As the night deepened, the Wraith horizon pulsed softly above the colony, a silent guardian. The children slept in the safety of their homes. Robots kept watch, and the settlers worked quietly in their workshops. Life on the frontier had found balance, a harmony between discovery, responsibility, and care. Lyra's gaze drifted toward the stars again. "There's so much out there, Sheridan. So many places we could go, so many people we could help." "We'll go when the time is right. For now, we build, we teach, and we protect. That's enough for today." The robot floated closer, its blue core pulsing steadily. Colony system stable, children happy. Guardians present, harmony achieved. Prepared for new challenges. Rory yawned and climbed into his bed pod. Mina adjusted the small robotic bird on her shoulder and whispered goodnight. The other children settled quietly, a sense of peace surrounding them. Sheridan and Lyra stood together looking out over the colony. The soft hum of machines, the laughter of children, and the gentle glow of the Wraith horizon above created a moment of perfect stillness. "You know," Lyra said softly, "this feels like home, and it feels like a beginning, not an end."
Sheridan nodded.
Out here, we make our own paths, find our own families, and shape the future the way we want it. And this is just the start. The twin suns had disappeared below the horizon. Stars sparkled in the night sky, reminding them that the universe was vast, full of possibilities, and waiting for those brave enough to explore it. And Sheridan Colt, Lyra Dane, and the children of the colony knew that together they could face whatever adventures came next, guided by care, courage, and the knowledge that family isn't always born. Sometimes it's made. And so, on this quiet frontier world, surrounded by laughter, light, and hope, the Wraith horizon watched over them, ready to carry them wherever the next adventure might call. The journey had changed them all. But the greatest discovery was not alien technology, not distant planets, and not even the Wraith horizon itself. It was the truth that family, belonging, and purpose could be found in the most unexpected places, sometimes in children's laughter, sometimes in the presence of someone who simply cared enough to stay. And under the stars of this distant world, the children, the settlers, the robots, and their new guardians slept peacefully, dreaming of adventures yet to come, knowing that they were not alone.